How to run a Office Olympics Winter Olympics edition, where I'm going to give you both virtual and in-person ideas that you can do to organize an Olympics at your organization. In this video, I'm going to give you everything you need, from agendas to in-person activities like ice cube curling or sock speed skating or rubber band biathlon that you can do with little or no prep, as well as a bunch of virtual ideas so you can craft and create a fun and engaging virtual Office Olympics Winter Olympics edition. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Chris Littlefield. I'm the founder of a company called Beyond Thank You. I've been running team building programs and designing retreats for over 20 plus years and helping people have the conversations that matter most at work so they can focus on doing the work that matters most. Now, why do we even do this in the first place? Well, if you're already searching for this, you probably already know. Sometimes people get so heads down in the work that we forget the importance of play, laughter, and fun. If you ever saw the US show The Office, they're famous for the Office Olympics, where they started it with a scented candle. They created medals out of the lids of yogurt containers, and they had a bunch of simple games around the office that they organized just for some laughs, for some cheers, and some just plain old fun together. So let's get into how to run some Office Olympics. Now, if you want to just jump to the activities, feel free to do that. But in the beginning, I'm going to give you a couple different agenda ideas and how to set up your program in the best possible way. So let's start by thinking about the structure of our games. And the thing that I want you to keep in mind is keep this simple. If you want to do this in one day, you may have an opening ceremony and then have maybe 3 or 4 activities that you do, and then a closing medal ceremony. And I'll share how to do both of those in a little bit. Now, if you want to spread this out over multiple days, then maybe just do 2 activities a day over lunch break, spread it out over the week, have the scores add up in the medals, and then have a closing ceremony at some point in the end. Now, what are we going to do for activity ideas? Well, right now I'm going to go into sharing all the in-person ideas, and then I'll follow up by sharing some of the virtual ideas. So whatever's most important to you, well, I recommend that you watch both, but we'll start out with the in-person and then go on to the virtual activities. Sock speed skating. Have everybody bring in their slipperiest socks and let them know ahead of time they're going to be taking off their shoes, because you probably don't want to smell Ted's shoes there, so make sure he comes prepared. Have everybody get their slipperiest socks, put them on, and then have them do their best speed skating around the rink in your office as they try to do it. Hopefully they don't fall down while they're doing it, and they can have their own speed skating race, just like Apollo, wasn't that his name, from the US. The next one, trash can curling. Take a trash can, or if you want to go to Goodwill, buy a whole bunch of lids from old pots and pans. Draw a red circle on the floor like I did with a whiteboard marker. Hopefully that comes off. Have everybody do their best curling and try to slide it onto the red dot. Or if you want to use the lids, right, you can have them slide it and try to knock it off and do it. Want to make it even more fun? Bring in a bunch of brooms, have them be able to act it out, and do the sweeping thing that goes with the curling, and there you have trash can curling. Chair bobsledding or chair slalom. Have everybody put some helmets on just to make it a little more exciting. Put their masks on, put some cones out around your office. Have somebody push the person as they go around some cones or someplace in your office as fast as they possibly can. It can be slalom if you want. Keep the slippery socks on if they're going on by themselves, because it make it even easier. But feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Come on, boys, it's bobsled time. Cool runnings. If you want to, you can put that music on in the back for the people who still remember that amazing movie with John Candy for a little laugh as well. So what is the Winter Olympics without figure skating? So you can create your own no-skate skating competition where they either use the slippery socks that they already have, they get dressed up in their best outfit, and they go around. You pick 30 seconds of a song, no more than that because it's really awkward, and you have them go around and do their best routine, their sauerkraut, their triple lutz, their backward skating, and all the rest. And then you have your senior leaders or people, or maybe your junior leaders and the senior leaders are doing this, putting up scores 10, 4.5, 4.5 to be able to rate people, and the best and highest score wins. You can also do partners if you want to take it to the next level. You can't have the Olympics without hockey. So if you've got a long hall in your office, put out 2 cones at the end or just use a doorway. You can pick things to use as a puck, which could be simply a thing of tape. This is painter's tape, or even the lid to somebody's travel mug. Have people go out. You can bring in hockey sticks or just use brooms and have people shoot on each other, play with each other. They can use their feet, but create a hockey competition. And if you got an ice rink nearby, you can actually have a real one. Rubber band biathlon. You know that activity in the Winter Olympics where people go cross-country skiing with a gun on their back and then they've got to shoot down targets? Well, if people have those slippery socks still on, you can set a obstacle course around your office. Then you can go and you can take 3x5 cards or even people's business cards, fold them over on a little bit, draw a little red target, and then you can set them up in different places, and then you can steal some elastic bands from your daughter's or hair ties. They work the best, or you can just use simple elastics, and then have people slowly try to hit as many targets as they, missed the last one, as they can, and there is your rubber band or elastic biathlon. Ice cube curling. Have everybody get a whole bunch of ice. And by the way, you can do this virtually or in the office. Create a curling rink. Is that what you call it? A curling rink? Put a little red dot out there. Have everybody take an ice cube and then try to be able to slide it. Maybe they need to do the brushing thing like in curling. Oh no, I lost the ice cube. Here it is, and then try to slide it. Man, this thing is slippery, okay? And then try to slide it onto the red dot until they get it on, or they have to be able to move it there. And there is ice cube curling. Now let's talk about some virtual activities that you can do via Zoom, Teams, or whatever platform you choose to use. Team bobsledding, or Zoom sledding, I guess you could say. Put your people into teams of maybe 2, 3, or 4 people. Have them go off into a breakout room and create a bobsled routine. They can put up their own backdrops in the back. They can go get helmets or their kids' bike helmets, put them on, and then have them get into the room and then have everybody else turn their camera off and have them do their own bobsledding routine to make sure they're in sync together and making sounds together for 30 seconds and see who comes up with the best routine and makes it actually look like they're bobsledding. The next event is speed typing. Come up with a list of Winter Olympic terms like bobsledding and biathlon and short track speed skating, whatever that is. I have to go look that one up. Get a list of maybe 10 to 20 things. Be able to have it somewhere, maybe on a slide. Have everybody take out their keyboards, right? So they're ready to go. Put up the list and have everybody open up the chat, write as many as they can, as fast as they can. See how many they can get done within a 1 minute or 30-second timer. Another way to be able to do this is just tell people you're going to have 1 minute. I'm going to set a timer. See how many different Winter Olympic terms that you can come up with in under 1 minute. Don't hit send, and then all of a sudden hit send in the chat, and whoever gets the most without searching online ends up winning or getting the gold for that event. Now you can do a biathlon virtually by having people make their own targets and then showing how far they are and then trying to shoot them. That I got that. Another way to do it is if you're the one facilitating, grab a dice. Okay, this is a really big one here just so you can see it, but you can grab it from any board game you may have in your house and then have everybody guess what the next number is going to be, and that's going to be their shot that they're taking. You roll the dice, they put it in the chat, and it's 5, and all the people who got a 5 get 1 point. Do this maybe 5 to 10 times. Whoever gets the most hits is the one who won the biathlon. The next is Ice Cube Challenge. You already have them out from the Ice Cube curling activity. So have people have an ice cube out and then have everybody come on screen or pick one person from each team, and I'll get to teams later. Have everybody take an ice cube, put it into their mouth, and see who can hold it in their mouth the longest without letting go. Without letting go. It's really cold. And their mouth goes numb. Or you can have a melt the ice cube challenge. It's a little hard to see it as much, but that's another simple fun one that you can put into the mix. And the last and probably simplest one to do is Winter Olympic trivia. You can just go into ChatGPT or whatever AI and say, give me 10 Winter Olympic trivia questions. I just did that literally 30 seconds ago, and it says, what country has hosted the Winter Olympics the most times? What is the only Winter Olympic sport where men and women compete together? My first thought was curling. It's not. In which year were the first Winter Olympic Games held, and what sport combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting? We already know. It's rubber band biathlon. So those are simple virtual activities that you can build your games around. Now let's talk about picking teams, opening and closing ceremonies. Now you can just put people onto teams by departments, or if everybody's on one team, one thing that I love to do is take everybody on the team and then put them into groups of people that they don't normally work with. If John and Jim don't get along very well, put them on the same team together. That helps them bring them together. In my old work on international conflict resolution, we specifically designed games that would put people who, well, were kind of at odds with one another so that they had a different experience other than just talking about the conflict or just, in this case, doing the work together against each other, and so they start working together. But either way, just make it simple, but put people onto teams. I like using colors. You can use the colors of the Olympic rings, like red, green, black. I can't remember what they all are at this point in time. But put people into teams and divide people up evenly, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 10 people on each team, so that they're competing together. Now, when it comes to the opening ceremonies, have fun with it. Find somebody in your team who's really excited. Maybe they're often the MC, maybe it's a senior manager who's really good at getting people energized. Put people into their teams, and what I like to do is say, have a list of the different people and say, on the green team, and then call out 3 names and then send them over to green. On the red team, and then they go over there, just to make it fun and ham it up. And then introduce people to the games that are coming forward. And you could say, over the next hour, we're gonna be competing in 3 different events: no skating, ice cube curling, and rubber band biathlon. You can create a little scoreboard with the green team, the blue team, the red team, and then as each event happens, you can award the medals. Gold goes to here, you can use a brown marker for bronze, and so on and so forth, and be able to do that as they go through the events. Now, if you are doing this over multiple days, then have people do the event and then put the scores up one day at a time, maybe announce it in a newsletter or a broadcast email to everybody, and build up the excitement, and then have one day where you have maybe 3 events at the end to get people exciting. And if you're doing this virtually, you can make a virtual version of this in Zoom or in a PowerPoint and just add the medals up there. But the truth is, we want to keep this as simple as possible. As simple as writing on a little whiteboard to be able to do it. The whole point of this is not to create an additional thing to do, but something fun to do together, where we create new memories, where we laugh together, where we play together, and we have a good time. Now let's talk about your closing ceremony, because you want to bring this all together and celebrate the winner, because people, well, they're just competitive. So in the end, set up your podium. You can use a little kid's step ladder and a trash can like I found in my office, or do it like what they did in the office and just take out a ream of paper if you tend to be in person, or if you're online, have everybody turn off their cameras except for you, and then slowly announce your bronze medal team, your silver team, and then of course your gold, and then have everybody celebrate together. If you're doing it virtually, you can give them a bronze backdrop that they can put up and keep on for the rest of the week, or a gold backdrop. And if you're in person, you can just do what the office did and make some simple little things out of tin foil, or you can make your own little awards, or even bring in a trophy, whatever it is. The truth is, that's not the stuff that matters. What matters is the time, the memories, and laughing together, and doing a little something to be able to have those experiences that bring us all together. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you've got additional ideas that you would add, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. And if you do this and you organize Office Olympics, do me a favor and send a picture and let me know how it goes, and you can do that at beyondthankyou.com. And then the last thing to say is, if you ever want help designing an engaging and fun event for your leaders, or you want to take leadership to the next level in your organization, reach out to me at beyondthankyou.com. Take care.